Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up.
We have traveled all over East Africa to find hard-working farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need,
so they can adapt and make their farms more productive even while the climate changes.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experiences
on the Shamba Shape Up Safari.
What do you want? I told you I'm retired.
We asked to call you back on an urgent mission. By the boss. The boss.
Hello, David. All right, I'll do it. But on one condition. Tea. Lots of tea. Carol.
Yes.
Let's go meet the farmers.
Let the mission begin.
Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up. This week we are in Zambezi in Kabete, Kiambu County.
Hello.
Hey. Who's home? Who's home?
Hey.
Naomi.
Hi,
Mekatilili.
Good, thank
How are
you.
you?
How are you? Good to see you.
And here is Mekatilili.
Karibu.
Mekatilili. Tony.
Yes.
Do you know where the name Mekatilili came from?
Naomi, how are you?
Hi.
Mekatilili.
Yes.
No.
For once, Tony doesn't have an answer. Where did the name Mekatilili come from?
From the great Mekatilili Wamenza of Giriamaland.
Ah.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So, Naomi,
Yep.
how is farming?
Farming is good, but in the current national state, is quite a tough balance.
A tough balance. It's challenging.
It's challenging.
So, Mekatilili, what is challenging in farming?
Mainly the cost of production in the market.
What kind of farming are you practicing here?
We have the broilers, we have Kenbros, cows, we have pigs as well.
So, Naomi, have you been doing farming all your life?
Oh, yes. But age is also catching up, and it's become imperative that we transfer this. We hand over to my young ones.
All right, so Mekatilili, tell me about the dairy. What challenges are you facing with dairy farming?
They're definitely consuming more than what they bring in.
We can say whatever is going in is not what you want out.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, how do you know whether you're making profit or loss from your cows?
I keep my records and I keep the records of what is coming in. And yes, so far I can see the balance is off.
We come with experts and we are going to work with you and we'll make sure that you are shaped up by the time we are leaving here.
So Mekatilili and Naomi, you'll just give us a few minutes. We need to go and prepare ourselves to start working. We'll be right back.
The journey of a healthy and productive heifer begins from birth. As a farmer, there are things you need to do to ensure this. Mekatilili and her mom need to see that there is potential in their cows. They need information and expert advice. This is why we have called in Michael Maundu from CKL Africa. You look like a tailor, doesn't he look like a tailor?
He does.
What is all this tape?
This is a weighing band, and we use it to measure the weight of our animals so that we can do the right dosing.
How do you know the weight of your animals?
I estimate.
Estimate. What is his weight?
89.
Almost?
No,
Ah, so if we were to be dewormed, it should
it
give you
would
the
be
wrong.
overdosed.
it would be an overdose.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So now, Mekatilili, you're doing a good job, but you have some challenges with your heifers. What exactly is going on?
I have a 2-year-old heifer who has never gone on heat. So that is the problem with my heifer.
If you see an animal staying for a longer period without probably coming to heat or something, so you look at the nutrition, you look at the mineral supplement of the animal. At the age of 14 to 15 months, supposed to come on heat without any delay. Yes.
Mount, what have you observed?
The hygiene of the place needs to be improved a little bit, and also the comfort of the animal, the way the floor is. This is very dangerous for the animal because these animals are very heavy. It's easy for them to break their legs. I've looked at the Heifer. She has some kind of a wound. I've noted there are some sharp edges in the pen. Again, look at the feeding trough. It needs to be repaired. So those are some of the things you need to improve.
Good management, there's hygiene and feeding.
Correct. Yes.
So today, what do you want us to focus on?
We are going to focus more on the internal and external parasites. Yes. If you look at the coat of the animal, it's a little bit rough. That is an indication that that probably there is an infestation of some parasites.
How should Mekatilili deworm her cow?
You need to know the weight of your animal. Dosage should be given depending on the weight of the animal.
How will she know the weight?
This is a weighing band, and we use it to measure the weight of our animals so that we can do the right dosage.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Mekatilili, you've been using one product for deworming the cows?
We've been using one, but I can't say one per se because when the vet comes in, they use a different one from what we do.
Should a farmer use one product throughout deworming?
We recommend that we keep changing. Like, for example, I have come with 2 dewormers. One is Nielsen Plus, another one is Nefluke. Those 2 products have different actives so that the worms do not get resistance. Yes.
For deworming, change the active ingredients every 6 months. For example, change from Nielsen to Nefluke to stop your cows from building resistance. How do you deal with external parasites?
We are talking about ticks, we are talking about flies, we are talking about fleas. And the external parasites make the animal to be restless. To an extent, they can also cause anemia. When it comes to spraying, the farmer have to use 4 or 5 liters of the mixed product for the control of the external parasites. And again, when you are spraying, there are some parts of the animal where you concentrate more on the armpits and then under the tail. And again, you spray against the direction of the fur, like you come from behind. Yes, so that you make sure all the acaricide gets into the skin, and then you'll have done it well.
So should I spray it on my cows or on my cows and the environment?
Well, you can spray the cow, and as well you can spray the environment. There's
especially
no harm.
Because of the flies.
The flies, yes. And also sometimes the fleas can be on the edges. Yes.
When using grenade, mix 20 milliliters in 20 liters of water. Spray your cow in a crush. So, Mekatilili, now you've heard that it's very important as much as you take care of feeding the cows.
Yes.
And controlling external and internal parasites is very, very important so that your cows can get on heat on time and you can make profits as a young farmer, and you're doing a good job.
For a young farmer getting into poultry business, broilers are a good way to start because they're ready for market within a few weeks and therefore reduce the amount of capital needed compared to layers. But that doesn't mean it's easy. A lot of care is needed to make sure you get the best production. Because Mekatilili has naked neck broilers, we have decided to bring in the naked neck broiler experts, Kenchik. We have Patrick Itotia, who will help our farmer improve on her production. So, Mekatilili,
yes.
I love what I am seeing here.
Fantastic
How many birds
job.
do we have here?
Fantastic job.
These are 1,000 birds.
So, Patrick, what have you observed?
Mekatilili has a nice farm.
Yes.
The birds are active. The feed and water distribution is very, very nice. I've seen you have a thermometer. So you can see it's reading 34, which is a very optimum temperature for neck and neck broilers. So the only thing we need to do here is just raise this side, the gunny bag partitions, the curtains, a bit high, so that we don't lose a lot of heat to this particular house. Additionally, we also need to change the feed troughs. At this age, we need to have the plastic feeders. You can see they are red and yellow in color. Chicks or poultry generally have an affinity to these particular colors. You can also observe directly that you have more birds feeding from the chick feeders than the metallic troughs.
True.
Yes. So for you to be able to control your uniformity, that is overall growth, evenness, then these feeders are a bit better than the chick troughs.
Is there a particular way that these water feeders should be put?
So you can either arrange them linear, you have a line of drinkers, a line of feeders, 1 meter apart, or alternating feeder, drinker, 1 meter apart. Essentially what that does, it helps in distribution of the resources, that being feed and water. For you to discourage a pecking order, so it's why it's advised to have this particular kind of arrangement of equipments.
Anything else?
Before we enter, we also need to have, a foot bath area to disinfect your footwear.
She has a foot bath.
Yeah, she has a foot bath, but we need to have a permanent foot bath.
So Patrick,
Yes.
what can Mekatilili do to get the most out of this kind of breed?
The nutrition, the choice of diet you're going to go with, partner with the right feed manufacturer so that your birds can be able to get the most out of the feed. And of course, health management, do your vaccinations right on time, and you're going to get the most profits out of these particular nice birds. Yeah.
So Mekatilili, what and how are you feeding your birds?
At the moment, I'm feeding them starter mash. Then after starter mash, give them pellets. Finisher pellets.
All right. That's after how many days?
After 3 weeks. So after
21 days. Is that the right procedure?
Technically, that is what most farmers do, but we can adopt a better feeding program. Nowadays, we have a 3-phase diet, so you're supplementing nutrients that this bird requires based on its age. Hence, the 3-phase diet, which has a starter phase that is full of, well-balanced protein to aid in development. Then you will transition to a grower diet from around day 11. The purpose of a grower diet is to, continue supporting development as well as the skeletal structure as you head into the finisher diet that is just a lot of carbs, energy, so that now you prepare your birds to take it to the market.
Okay. Patrick,
Yes.
how can I ensure my birds be the best weight at slaughtering?
You need to be weighing your birds. Weigh your birds at placement, day 0. Weigh them at an interval of every 7 days. So once you weigh, you're able to compare against the performance standards and recover as early as the first 7 days if the weight is not as you wanted it to be.
Remember, a 3-phase diet will begin with starter crumbs, move to growers, and finally, finisher mash. This ensures you get the best of your chicken. With the experts' advice, the chicken shed will need a brooder curtain to maintain the heat. The corners will need to be rounded to prevent the birds from crowding. We need to replace the metallic feeders with better ones. And we need to move from the plastic basin foot bath to something more permanent. Time for a shape up.
Welcome back to Shamba Shape Up. Work is going on the farm, but we still have a lot more to learn. Farming is a business. In order to make money, you need to understand both, so they can take care of you.
I've had moments where funds have been hard to come by. The first lot of chicken I brought, I was funded by my mom. So from there, I've just been growing. Sometimes I have also taken a loan from Youth Fund.
In order for a farmer to better understand finances, we have called in an expert, Anthony Mbithi from Family Bank, in partnership with SIAT. When you hear about a loan from a bank, what comes into your mind immediately?
Okay, the word loan from a bank particularly is terrifying.
It's terrifying to hear about a loan
Yeah.
from a bank. So, Anthony, tell Mekatilili why she should not be scared of banks.
Mekatilili should not be afraid of banks because we now have banks that are dedicated or have dedicated departments to take care of people in agriculture. Yes.
So, Mekatilili,
Yes.
what else would you like to add in your farming activities?
I would like to have layers.
So, how would you finance that?
At the moment, I have no specific plan on how to finance it because I know it's very capital intensive.
Yes.
So at the moment, it is just in my wish list.
Oh, wonderful. And that's why Anthony is here. So, Anthony, do you help farmers to diversify?
She has broilers. And if she wants to do layers, that is a diversification strategy, which as a bank we treat as a risk mitigation as well. And so that is a welcome move.
Risk mitigation, what does that mean?
It means that if one enterprise fails, like if the broilers market doesn't work as expected, she can get fallback from the layers. Yes.
Let's assume you want a loan from Anthony. Take it from there.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Mekatilili.
So I am a farmer and I would like to get a loan from you. How should I go about it?
The first thing the bank will look at from you is this a line of business that you've been through and for how long? Then from there, we will look at your records for the existing business. For a small farm, we will look at maybe a bank statement. Have you been banking? Whether through a commercial bank, SACCO, microfinance, or any alternative recognized financial service. Then we will look at the business itself.
So why should Mekatilili come to you, Anthony, for the loan?
Banks are cheaper than the alternative sources of capital that people think about. If you ask around how much farmers or the people in table banking borrow, chances are that you will hear we borrow at 10% per month and all. But a farmer needs to be aware of the cost of funds from all these lenders and determine which one is cheap and affordable for them. Because in business, you have to save money. And one way of saving money is ensuring that you get your loan at the lowest interest possible.
Remember, think like a banker. Transacting through your bank or SACCO account when buying and selling is a good way of capturing your cash flow. Find out the interest rate of any lender and work out which rates and payment terms work best for you. Don't be afraid of talking to banks to see what they can offer. You said you keep records?
Yes, I do.
For everything?
For everything.
Yes,
I keep the
yes.
operation records and the performance records.
Those are very useful records for the farm. They will first of all help us determine who the farmer we are dealing with is. And our decision to lend or not will actually first be determined by those records.
So Mekatilili can now, tomorrow, come to you with her records and you start the process?
Even today.
Even today?
Yes.
Shall we go look at those records?
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at those records then. While Mekatilili gets her records, let's look at the weather for the next week.
Welcome to the Shamba Shape-Up Weather and Farming News for Kenya. In the coming week, we expect low rainfall across Kenya. The north, upper, and lower eastern counties will see very low rainfall of less than 5 millimeters across the week. This covers Marsabit, Isiolo, Mandera, Wajir, Meru, Tharaka, Kitui, Makueni, and Kajiado. Lower parts of Garissa will see rainfall reaching 15 millimeters in the week. The coastal counties will get low amounts of rainfall reaching 15 millimeters in the week. This includes Kilifi, Mombasa, and Kwale. Tana River and Taita Taveta will see very low rainfall below 5 millimeters. Lamu expects total rainfall reaching 25 millimeters. Central Kenya will as well get low rainfall reaching 15 millimeters across the week. This covers the counties of Nyeri, Kirinyaga, and Murang'a. Laikipia and Nyandarua will get more rains of up to 50 millimeters. Embu as well as Nairobi and Kiambu will have lower rains of below 5 millimeters. North, Central and South Rift Valley will get moderate amounts of rainfall reaching 50 millimeters across the week. This spans across Turkana, West Pokot, Marakwet, Baringo and Samburu, Nandi, Kericho to Nakuru. Narok will have low rainfall below 5 millimeters. The Western and Nyanza regions will have low rainfall as well, reaching 15 millimeters in the week. This covers Busia, Vihiga, Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Nyamira and Kisii. Bungoma and Kakamega expects up to 50 millimeters of total rainfall. Farmer, in the cold season like it is now, chickens lay fewer eggs. Supplement your chicken feeds with high protein diet so that you can maintain high egg production. Keep your house warm as well. For a detailed weather forecast for your area and more tips, get in touch with Shamba. Call 0711 082 606. See you next week on the Shamba Shape Up Farming News for Kenya.
Hey there! Have you heard of the new farming podcasts?
Oh yes, we are talking about the Shamba Shape Up podcast, where we talk about issues with the help of experts.
We are keen on issues climate change, where you as a farmer can adapt and improve your farming.
Join us as we talk about how you can still improve your shamba as the climate changes.
To get the podcast, go to shambashapapodcast.com.
On many small farms, dairy is the main economic activity. As a farmer, you must ensure that you get the very best quality milk from your cows so that you don't suffer losses. You don't want your milk being rejected at the dairy collection center, right? Milk is a very important product, and farmers need to know how to ensure it is safe for everyone. That is why we have Lavender Simiyu from Safe Milk Kenya to teach us about safe handling of milk on the farm. So Mekatilili, how many cows are you keeping here?
We have 4 cows.
So how many are you milking?
Just one.
One cow. Okay, and what do you do with the milk? Do you sell it or it's only for your home consumption?
We sell it at a local dairy.
How do you get to know that your milk is of good quality?
So our dairy tests for mastitis. They test if the milk has like extra water, it's too dilute, or if it has any unusual impurities.
That's the only way you can know whether you're producing quality milk.
Yes.
So far, do you think you're producing quality milk?
Yes.
Oh, yes. All right. We have our expert here who is going to tell us exactly what you're doing.
3 things can cause the milk to get spoiled, and that is either the person milking, the cow itself, or the equipment used to milk the cow. So we need to ensure that those 3 things are put in order. So before milking, the first thing, you need to clean your hands. Then after that, we also clean the cow's udder, and we clean with warm water. So before you start milking, or rather you put the milking salve, you have to ensure that you test for mastitis. You strip from each teat, and then you're able to look at the physical characteristic of the milk to see if it has mastitis or not.
So how do I know when my cow has mastitis and on which teat?
So if the milk has cud or the milk has bloody tissues, that means your cow is affected. So if you realize that, you immediately stop milking. So after you've confirmed that the cow is okay, you apply that milking salve and then you milk your cows. After milking, it's really important to take care of that milk because now it's food for human consumption. One way to do it immediately after milking is to sieve the milk, and we use a muslin cloth.
Muslin cloth?
Yes.
Not a sieve?
Not a sieve, because this normal sieve ya chai, it has bigger pores. So some of the dirt is able to pass through the pores. But if you use the muslin cloth, it traps any small kind of dirt.
So is that all?
No, it's not all. So there is still one more thing which is very much important, and that is the milking equipment. And for the equipment, it all starts with how we clean it and also where we store it.
We move to see how Mekatilili cleans her equipment, and the expert notices a few problems. So Lavender, we've just seen what Ivan does.
Yes.
I don't know that it's the right thing to do.
Allow me mention something about milk. So milk has both fat and has proteins. So milk has protein, and just like an egg, which also has protein, when you boil an egg, it hardens. So also when milk is exposed to hot water, the protein in the milk will also harden and it will stick on the equipment. So when you look into these cans, there are yellow substances at the tip, the yellow substances. So these come because I'm sure at times the worker uses hot water immediately to get the milk off. So it ends up sticking in the equipment. So it's important that you use cold water, then you won't have this issue. Yeah.
What can it do to the milk?
When this remains here, it acts as a place where bacteria can settle. So that means when you pour in milk, the milk will pick the bacteria from this fat that has remained here. So it's important that the first procedure after milking is to remove the milk residues with cold water. Yeah, cold water without soap. And then you come to the second procedure. So you use warm water with a cleaning detergent and a scrubber. And then after that, you rinse it off with cold water. Then after rinsing off with cold water, that is the first rinse. You do another final rinse, you use hot water. And that is mainly because you want to sterilize the equipment, then you hang it on a surface so that it gets dry.
What's all this? Cold, hot?
The procedure is actually 4. So it's cold water, hot, cold, hot. Muslin cloth is also part actually of the milking equipment.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to clean it the same way we clean the milking equipment.
So it's alternating cold,
Yes.
hot, cold, hot.
Yes.
So now I'm sure the process is now ingrained in you, and of course you're going to pass it on to any other person who handles your dairy cattle. But you're going to be on your way to making more money because you'll have quality milk. Thank you very much, Lavender. What are you going to remember Shamba Shape Up for?
Number one, you have taught us a lot of things on how to take our farming to the next level, a notch higher. So that is quite memorable.
Nice. So it means Mekatilili actually made sure the message got home.
Farming is a business, Mekatilili, as we were talking.
Yes.
And I have seen you keep very good records. But here we have a book for you where you can keep even more records, because I am sure you're going to prosper and become a very successful farmer.
And also dairy farming. We don't want our milk getting spoiled. So we say to start you off, because the other one was a bit, you know what that means. So this is to start you off. We also talked about cleanliness, yeah? We talked about the udder and the teats. So this is for the...
Thank you.
If
so
you can
much.
remember, this one is for the...
For the udder.
For the udder, and this is for the...
teeth.
Good.
Wow.
She's learning well. Yes.
So when we come next time, are we going to see any changes, Mekatilili?
Definitely. I want you to come back very soon.
Yes.
Yes, and I know you'll notice the change.
All right.
We are totally shaped up.
All we
Very
can say
nice.
is thank you when you pass on the baton and you see your generation growing into the next generation and the next generation. We say thank you. So, Tony?
Well, our work here is done, and we see you in the next Shamba.
Shamba!
Yeah.